Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. It is still the 25th of February. It is Saturday, 2023. I hope everybody's having a good day. I hope your day is going well. So I wanted to talk about some projects, and I'm going to tell you what I have on this list of projects that I have done myself. But there's 8 prepping projects that you should really think about having in place before a true S.H.T.F event happens, or before there's some kind of major emergency or situation that is going to affect you. All right. So the number one thing, and this is, I, I've said this over and over and over and over again, and I will continue to repeat myself on this one. But the most important things that all of us need to be doing is making sure we have clean, fresh drinking water, okay? Purified water. So the number one project that you should be doing is building a water system, purification system, to have in that emergency situation if the taps aren't working and you can't get your local water supply. Being able to have, drinkable water that has been, making sure that the pathogens are out and stuff like that is really, really important. As you guys know, I've just recently did a video. I picked up a big Berkey, or no, I'm sorry, Crown Berkey, not the big Berkey, the Crown Berkey for down here. I have a Crown Berkey also in New York at the homestead there. Obviously, my daughter's using that one. But being able to take rainwater that I get off of the roof of the camper and run it through a filtered system and be able to drink it and know that I'm going to be in good shape is really, really important. So I definitely encourage you guys to get that type of thing set up ahead of time, because that's the most important thing. Water is life, okay? So that's number one. The second thing I would say would be a greenhouse. Getting a greenhouse built, and it doesn't have to be a great big huge greenhouse. It can be any size to get started. You can always add more greenhouses on later, or expand a greenhouse that you built. All those things are possible, but get started with some form of a greenhouse. It extends your growing season, meaning you can start planting earlier and get your seeds germinating earlier in a controlled environment. It also makes sure that you can keep your plants in a controlled environment, so that if we have a exceptionally wet summer, that you can have them in an area where they're not going to get saturated and destroyed. If hail comes, it's not going to affect them because you're having them in a safe environment. It's also going to extend your growing season the other way, so that's important as well. So just something to think about ahead of time. All right. The next one is going to be building a beehive, getting bees. In New York, I have a beehive that I have not set up yet, that I do plan on bringing down here and setting up. And so I think that that's important. Oh, and for here, going, with the list for here, after we are done with the pavilion, the next major project that we're going to be working on is going to be getting a greenhouse in place. So that's really near the top of the list. But going back to a beehive, having bees, number one, they're going to help pollinate your crops, which is a really good thing. You need to have, obviously, you have to have that good relationship with the bees. And so having things that they can pollinate is going to be really important. The other thing with bees, with honey is really, really good for you as well. Honey can also be made into mead if you want it to be, or it's a substitute for sweets, which is a good thing. And it's going to help with the allergies and everything else as well. So honey is a huge thing. You should definitely, if you can, I mean, obviously if you live in suburbia, you can't have beehives in the backyard. But I'm saying if you're out in the country, it's one of those things that you probably should have. And again, it's a really good thing to have. The next one, building a composting toilet. All right, another thing that is really, really important. You may not think so, but I don't care. Okay, so a composting toilet can be as easy as this, guys. 5-gallon bucket, toilet seat that you can set on that, or a frame that you can put the bucket underneath. You can use the potty chair. They have the potty chairs. You can set that on there, put the 5-gallon bucket underneath it. Wood chips right? Uh, if we have a true S.H.T.F situation, you're still going to have to go to the toilet. But if the toilets in your house are not working and you can't flush those toilets, that waste has to go somewhere. So having a composting toilet or being able to set it up, even if you're using contractor garbage bags to use and go in, put in, line your 5-gallon bucket with a contractor garbage bag, use that, and then take that waste somewhere, and dump it someplace else. Composting toilets are huge, huge thing, really important to have. I would encourage you to have plenty of lime on hand as well. That's going to keep the smell down. Wood chips are a really good thing to use with a composting toilet as well. So just a couple of ideas there for you on that one, okay? The next one is building a smokehouse. You're going to be in more of a position where you're going to have to smoke and prepare meat for long-term usage, and having a smokehouse built already, and that is something that I would like to have here as well. So when we do start getting livestock in here and we have pigs and that type of stuff, that we can start smoking some of that meat afterwards. And I think that is definitely an important thing to do. If you're hunting and you're getting deer, is jerking some of that meat and smoking some of that meat. I think it's a really smart thing to do for a long-term survival situation. The next one, a medical herbs garden. You should have alternative ways to be able to treat yourself. So whatever ailments you have, high blood pressure, different things like that, there's alternative ways that you can treat that in that emergency situation. I am not telling you to do that in lieu of going to the doctor and getting the proper medication now, but being able to have the option in a post-event to have herbs and things like that are going to help you, in the medicinal plants. It's a smart thing to do. Have them in place now. So then, and then even if you're just growing them to collect them and save them, that's not a bad thing either. All right. Let's see, the next one. Let's see. The next one would be building a water drip irrigation system. Not really hard to do. You can do that without using electricity. Make sure you're going to be using BPA-free plastic bottles if you're going to do it that way. Then you basically are just filling your bottles up, and you have it as a little drip situation to water your plants. Most likely, you can set something up where you have a system that you can turn on and off, but all irrigation fed, gravity fed type of situation. Not a bad thing to have, so that if you can't get out there and water for whatever reason, your irrigation system's going to take care of that for you. It's going to help save time later on down the road. The last one I would suggest, and so once we have our greenhouse, that's something that we definitely will get set up in the greenhouse as well. Let's see, and as far as an herb garden, going back to what we're going to do here as we get going with the greenhouse and get gardens in, we definitely plan on having an herb garden as well here at the homestead. So there's some of these projects that you will see upcoming here at the homestead that I think will be, putting us in a situation to be better. Building your own cooking equipment. So what do I mean by that? Well, power's out, stove's not working, you can't cook with your stove. Having something outside, even if it's a gas grill that you can use temporarily, but also I would suggest having some place where you can actually go into a covered area, have a stove that you can use with wood or whatever you need to use to cook in those things, boil water, being able to have that stuff already on place. So when we finish with the pavilion, we already have the wood stove that we're planning on putting in the pavilion. So those are things that are going to be happening here as we go forward with the projects here at the homestead. A lot of the things on this list, I just want I think are really, really important to have. It's going to make, again, your transition from the world we live in now to a new reality that will happen after a true S.H.T.F situation. So the more of these things that you have in place right now, the better off you're going to be. And so it's just a few things to think about. I hope this video helps. I hope you get some ideas from this video. I'd like to hear your feedback also on this video, what you think. So anyway, I am going to jump off of here for now. I hope everybody is having a wonderful weekend again. Be safe. I will be live streaming tomorrow night, Sunday night, so definitely join us then. And be safe, guys. Have a great day, and I will talk to you all later. Prepper Nurse 1. Oh, I didn't even do my ending. Sorry. Remember, brain dead, sorry. Remember, we're all in this together. We're one race called the human race. As soon as we can figure that one out, we truly will be in much better shape. Also, remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day, tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life, so it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every day how we feel. Last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from achieving your goal is you. That's it, nobody else. Stay positive, stay away from the negativity, and you're going to be just fine. You know, setting those realistic goals. Just start with one project. Get that one project done, and then move on to the next project. It's as simple as that. Okay? Have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.